All right, hello once again, Jeff Scott from Jeff Teaches Programming. And in the last video, what I did was I added in here 6 array lists. We talked a little bit about the array list and we just added those. I don't think I'm going to need a first and a last anymore, so I'm going to get rid of those. It's going to give me errors, but I'm going to get rid of the errors right away. All right, so we come in here, we're doing all the stuff we've been doing before, calculating the BMI status, etc., outputting all statistics. All right, this is input. So we've got the first name and the last name. Now, what I want to say is, if this was valid, I know I've got a valid first name and a valid last name. So why don't I just put this inside of there? All right, so we want to do the, let's see, we want to do the weight and the height. All right. This is string valid is going to return, and so is this. So right now, what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to try to change this. I'm going to create a variable in here. So I'm going to say bool is success, and we don't even have to give it a default. Okay, so I'm going to say here, attempt to validate first name, last name. Yeah. But this I'm going to say here is success equals is string data. I've got one too many of these. All right. All right, so is success is equal to that. Oops. So now I'm going to say if is success then I'm going to want to do this one. All right. Don't worry, I'm going to pretty this up in just a second. All right. So first, let's get a curly brace here. We don't need this. This is going to be is success equal. Again, I don't need that. Semicolon on. Yeah, I do need a semicolon on there. I'll get that back in a minute. All right, play computer here. This is what I always would tell my students. All right, I'm just going to put a curly brace here. All right, so attempt to validate the values here in first name and last name string. And last name string. All right, these values cannot be empty. Okay, now copy, paste. Again, bear with me if you would for just a second. All right, attempt to validate the values in first name string and last name string, period. These values must be for first name cannot be empty, for last name cannot be empty. All right. If it's successful, now attempt to validate the values in height string and weight string. So if is success, now it's equal to this. Now, if this wasn't successful, All right, so if his success, do this, his success is this. And again, if is success, then I want to do all the rest of it. So I can set the height, I can set the weight, I can call this, I can call this. All right, let's see what this looks like now. Hopefully I made it better and not worse. Nothing in here. First name and last name cannot be empty. That's good. That's what we want, and we're there. All right, so let's put in Jeff. Click calculate. All right, first name, last name. It's saying that twice. That isn't good. There's a very simple fix for this. I'm not sure if we should incorporate it or not. That is this, where we're passing into these. All right, we got first name and we've got last name, right? And here we've got height and weight. What if we just change this to if string valid, and we're going to pass in here, we're just going to say the string. Okay, now it's going to give us errors, of course. All right, so let's see. See, the thing here is, it's possible that you have a first name and not a last name, correct? You know, so there's the first name, there's the last name. And here, we're attempting to validate it. So really, we shouldn't even be doing this right here. What if we did this? Okay, again, please bear with me here. All right, this is going to hold the first name. So it holds the value of the first name text box. This holds the value of the last name text box. Okay, this holds the value of the height text box. This will hold the value of the weight text box. All right, for now, we're not going to put anything in any of these, which is going to introduce some more errors, but bear with me. All right, attempt to validate the values in first name string and last name string. So I'm going to call this, and I'm going to pass in txt first name dot text. All right, don't worry. Yes, it's giving me an error. So this string, now we will call it the string. All right, so we're going to end up passing into this two things. We'll pass into this the number 1. All right, and if his success, I'm going to comment this out for now. because I want to do the same thing here. But now I want to pass in txt last name. And I'm going to pass in a 2. All right, don't worry, it's giving me an error because I haven't put that parameter in yet. So, and I'm going to say int which one. All right. Input message. Is their input. This will have to be the string. What I want to see if I can put here is it's one of those times I know exactly what I want to do. So I've got message first, and all right, I want to name valid string. See, I've got first name, but I want it to be first name if it's the first name we passed in, and last name if it's the last name we passed in. So let's do this. We'll say string which equals which one equal 1 question mark first name colon last name. All right, now I can come in here and say which. Looks like I need a blank space here and here. Now, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to make this easier, for lack of better words. I no longer need this. And I can just say message name. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to come in and say, is the string valid? So this is checking for the first name. If it came back with true, we're going to do it on the last name. And I'm going to say here, else return. All right. If it's success, and I'm going to do the same kind of thing in here. All right, I've got the height and the weight, but I want to do the same type of thing here. So we're going to do the same type of thing here. It's going to probably give me an error, and that's okay. All right. I've got this. I got if numeric string. Okay. So this will be is numeric data valid. This will be txt height. And I'll pass in a 1. Again, it's going to give me errors. All right. Finally, pause for a minute. All right. I'm going to initialize all these to the empty string, just so I don't get any errors later. All right. So I've got all these. Attempt to validate the values in first name and last name string. They need to both not be empty. So I first attempt to validate first name. If it's successful, I validate the last name. If it's not, I just return because I'm done. Then attempt to validate the height string and the weight string. All right. So if that's success down here, meaning we got a valid first name and a valid last name, then we do the height. Otherwise, we return. If that came back successful, we validate the weight. Otherwise, we return. If everything was successful, we finish up. So now I've got to make this look more like the other one. All right. So I need that bool is success. Now I got a message height. I call this input message name. Not a great, that's okay. I'm going to call this one input message HW for height weight. All right. Now, again, don't worry about errors right now. Okay? Again, I'm trying to break this up now, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it. Probably shouldn't be taping right now because I'm kind of making a fool of myself, but that sure as heck wouldn't be the first time. All right. Again, I'm going to just call this the string. and an int which one, just like I did before. Okay. So this is the string. This one will no longer be needed. And I think I'm going to be able to get rid of one of these. Okay. Okay. All right. A lot of errors, as you can see. Okay, I want to do something like this. If it's a 1, then we're going to be checking the height. And if it's 2, we're going to be checking the weight. All right. So that'll be which. Okay. This I can just say again the string, and it can be again which. All right, this is going to have to change. So I'm going to call this message HW there is there. This will be called HW is int, and this will be called HW is in range. And I won't need these anymore. We're going to clear both, even if only one is wrong. All right, we're almost there, believe it or not. This is the only error I think that we have right now. All right. So this is the only one we think we have to fix right now. The problem is I want to write one routine, and I want to use either min height, max height, or min weight, max weight. Which one? Okay. If which equal height. Well, if that's the case, we want to use int min equals 0, int max equals 0. All right, so if it's height, then min equals 12 and max equals 96. Else if which equal weight, min equals, what did we say, 1, I believe? Max, in fact, let's use these. Min height, max height, min weight, max weight. Now for this, we can use this, the string, and this will be which, and this will be min, and this will be max. Now, I could have all sorts of errors in here. So we'll see here. That's good. And we'll put that in too. All right. Let's do a save all. First, let's see if it runs. All right, nothing in there. First name cannot be empty, and it sends us there. Good. So let's put in Jeff. Well, it says first name cannot be empty, and it's clearing it. Well, that isn't right. So let's make that check. Name text 2. Input the string of which should be either first name or last name. We're clearing both if there is an error in either one and resetting that, and that's okay. Okay, I'm going to continue this in just a moment.